I'm Alison with Better Half Reviews, and today we are talking about Super Trains. This is a game by Treasure Falls Games, and this is a Kickstarter game, and it's built for kids and families. Now in Super Trains, you are going to be going around your track trying to deliver passengers and cargo to their different spots, but you also have to watch out for the evil Rollar. As you play through the game, you're trying to earn as many star points as you can, and whoever has the most star points at the end of the game is the winner. Everyone will also have their own mission cards with some different objectives for them to complete in the game. Everyone's is unique from each other's. You also have some upgrades that you could put on your train board that can give you some special abilities. Again, those also vary from player to player. So the way the game works is you take your chosen player color and you're going to start on the color that matches your train. So I am purple. I will start in the purple corner. So the first couple of rounds of the game is just going to be very nice and simple. You're going to be rolling the gear die and moving around trying to deliver passengers and cargoes to their chosen places. And after a few more rounds, you add in the Rollar dice, and that makes it a little bit more tricky. So if you roll the die, whatever your result is, you're going to pick up that type of gear if you have a spot for it. And what I mean by that is you have your train board with some different areas to put down gears. Right now, so this train doesn't have any specific spots. All the other ones, they start with a different color, so the green one can start with a green one. Mine, however, does not have a specific spot, but say I rolled green. As the active player, I could choose to put it on one of these wild spots, because those are gear generators, and so I'm saying, okay, I'm going to use this for green. Let me place it down. But, for example, maybe I had a couple gear generators already on my board. If I'm the active player, and I roll a color that I have a gear generator for, and as long as they're connected, you can put up to 3 on the board. So I have 2 green generators, so I will put 2 on the board. You can't use a wild for that connecting thing. If you choose a wild, that's just 1 wild. Now for everybody else, if I rolled a green, if they have a green spot open, they can put 1 green generator, they can't put multiple down. Also at the beginning of the game, everyone will start with 1 cargo and 1 passenger on their board, and they have it already denoted here. So let's say I'm trying to get downtown. This passenger wants to go downtown. Now since you are a train, you have to follow the train tracks. You can't go diagonal. You've got to follow how it turns. So once you choose a direction, you got to keep going that way. You can't back up. So my first one, I've got a passenger who wants to go downtown. And I have up to 5 movement, and hey, green's right here. So I can go 1, 2, 3. And then I can deliver my passenger. And in the deluxe edition, they have this little star caboose, and that's where you can put all your completed cards and keep track of your star points or other bonuses. Alright, so I'm delivering him, and it says that my bonus down here in the corner is a green generator. So I'm putting it right down here, connecting it to my other green ones. And if you have any extra movement after that, you can keep moving. So there's going to be some different actions you can do, and you can kind of stop and mix it up. So I've moved 1, 2, 3. I have 2 more movement if I want, so I'll go 4, 5. And you know what? I'm trying to head over to blue, which is over that way. So maybe if you want to, on your turn, you can spend a green gear to move an additional 2 movement. So hey, I'll do that. I've got extra, so I'll go 1, 2. And that could be my turn. Now, since I did deliver a passenger, I need to choose another one before we move on to the next turn. So I can choose any one of the ones available that you can see, or I can choose one off the top. So maybe I want to go for a different color. I'll do yellow construction, because then if I do this, I'll get a yellow generator. Now with making your deliveries, there are deliveries where it doesn't cost anything to go and just drop off that passenger, but there are some where you need to deliver some gears in order to deliver like the cargo. So this says that I need a yellow gear. So my goal would be, oh, okay, I need a yellow gear. I don't have any yellow gear generators. Maybe I need to go deliver this passenger, get a yellow gear generator on my board. And so then if I or someone else rolls a yellow, I'll get a yellow. And then I can go deliver this to the school and then I'll get some points. All right, so now that the first few rounds are over, you move into the rounds where you're adding in the roller dice. So as the active player, you roll it up. And then you still resolve your gears first. So I got blue. I do have one blue spot, so I can have a blue gear on my player board. Everyone else, if they do have a gear generator in the blue color, they'll gain a blue gear as well. And now we have to deal with the Rollar dice. So there are a few different results that will happen on the die. One of them will be the Rollar symbol, so it'll look like the backs of the cards. That means that there's going to be emergency at, and this die gives you the location. So let's say it gave us the school. This is going to go face down, and there's the emergency. You have to move over to a space adjacent to it in order to turn it over and find out what the emergency is and hopefully deal with it. So let's say it's my turn now. And hey, you know what? I want to go find out what that emergency is. And when it's your turn, you can also choose to turn around. You choose your direction that you want to move. You just can't change the direction after you started moving. So I'm going to go 1, and I'm next to it. So I'm going to say, hey, I want to flip it over. I want to find out. So this emergency says this is what you need to pay in order to fix that emergency, and this is your bonuses that you'll get. So this says that it needs 2 yellow gears. I've got 1. I don't have 2. But in this game, since we want to encourage some friendliness and helpfulness, you can go around counterclockwise and ask the people you're playing with, being like, hey, do you want to help me? And so I just need 1 more yellow gear. Does anybody want to help? And maybe someone's nice and they give you a yellow gear. And you're like, thank you so much. You turn them in. And now I've completed this emergency and I get some points. So why would you want to share your gears with other people when maybe you need to use them for something later on? Because you can get a kind train card. And so that can give you some different bonuses. Like this one says pick 3 gears. You can get an extra turn. You could be able to heal. I'll talk about that in a second. Just other different little bonuses you can get. So sharing is caring and helpful to you. So why would you want to, get these emergencies off the board? If you're sharing and helping or just in general, because if you have a card where you need to go deliver to the school and there's an emergency on there, you can't go there. You've got to clear this out in order to have that spot be open. If there's a time where you're on a specific area and a roller card is added to it, you flip it over immediately and deal with it. And if there's times where you can't actually complete a roller card, you can't fix the emergency, you're going to take 1 of these negative point tokens. Sorry. So that will just be -1 point at the end of the game. But remember, I said there are some heal cards in here, so that can let you get rid of 1 of these. If you do end up having multiple cards being stacked in one area, you're just going to put the newest one underneath the oldest one. But as you're playing the game, the roller cards get harder and harder. You start with green, so that means it's a little bit easier, but then you move on to gray and then red. So this emergency only needed 2 gears, this one needs a lot of them. But there's more points to be had. Now we've talked about the emergencies, there's also movement. So Rollar can move either to the right or he can move up on the board. If you get these movement, you're going to ignore the place and just move him. So he will move up. If he happens to go into your spot, guess what? That's a negative point token. Play continues until you go through this whole deck. Once you've placed out the last roller card, you're going to do 2 more rounds and count up your star points. Whether you've completely defeated all the emergencies or not, you're still going to figure out, okay, who did the best? Who got the most points? that being said, each train has some different gear upgrades, and they're all very unique, and some of them are actually even larger sizes than this. And if you spend different gears, so this one says, hey, if you have one of every gear, spend this. Oh, hey, you have a power. You can re-roll a die once per turn. And on your board, you have different spots for your upgrades. Purple is special because it has 2 upgrade spots. All the other ones just have 1. So say I spent some different things to get some gear options on my board, and say it's like, oh, hey, I rolled the Rollar to move, and I don't want him to move, so maybe I'll re-roll it and get something different. Or maybe I need a different color generator. I'm going to re-roll my die. If you really, really like an upgrade, but you already put up the upgrades on your designated spot, you can put it down in your gear generator area. It just takes away some of those spaces to have more colors or more options. So that's up to you to decide. If you complete your whole board and fill it up, there's some bonus points for you. Or maybe if you have the longest connected of one color, you will also get some bonus points. And then you count up all the points on your cards from passengers, cargo, kind train cards, mission cards if you did those, and see who wins. Alright, so that's Super Trains. Let's talk about how I feel about it. So I think this is a very fun and great kids game. If your kids have been playing games and they've kind of got some exposure, I feel like this one's not too hard to start with. If your kids aren't familiar with deeper games, this might be a little bit harder, but still doable. With this game, I appreciate how everything's very color coded. So it's like, okay, square blue gear generator, circle gears, and it's like, okay, blue goes on blue, yellow goes on yellow. And having the locations color coded is helpful. So my son, he's learning to read, but he can't really read some of the bigger words like carnival. It's pink, you go to pink. So I appreciate that there's some helpful with the colors to help those who aren't fully reading yet. That being said, if you have a child who doesn't read, you're going to need to help them out just a little bit. Like things with the carnival cards or carnival mission cards. They do have like numbers and symbols that can help, but they may need a few reminders on some things. So it's not fully non-reader friendly, but pretty decently so with just a little bit of help. Now, this is a prototype of the deluxe edition, so it has the minis. I think in just the standard retail version, it will be cardboard standees, but from what I remember with how they did Quest Kids, those are going to be pretty great too. But I mean, you can't beat having these chunky train pieces. I love it. But yeah, just having like everything just kind of big to help with those little hands. So it's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna move my train around. My son loved moving his train around. Where he liked to play as green, because some of those bonuses can give you those upgrades can give you extra movement, and then on top of that, he would spend more green just because he wanted to move his train around more. It was just so fun to be like, okay, I'm gonna follow the track and turn around and go. It's fun to move these trains around the board, and the game is very rewarding. Where you deliver things, you're just gonna get some points. Oh, hey, I delivered one thing, and now I get 2 gear generators. How cool! So it's very easy to play this game and feel like you're getting rewarded a lot, and even help share. Having some friendly competition, share and maybe get some bonuses as well. So coming as an adult to this game, is this a game that I would choose to play with adult friends? No, not really. But that's not who the audience is for. This is a game for kids, for families, and with my son, he's 6, and he absolutely loves this game, and I'd be willing to play this with him anytime because it's so fun for him, and it's decently easy to, get it going, and he doesn't need a ton of help to play it, and he just has a lot of fun. And I think that's a key thing that Treasure Falls Games has done with some of their games like Quest Kids and now Super Trains, is they build a game for kids, and it's fun, It's not too crazy hard, but it involves some strategy and thinking, with amazing fun pieces. I know with this being a prototype, there are some changes that have been made and will be made from what you see here, where just coloring and lighting on things. One thing I'm hoping for, like they do have reference cards, which I appreciated and that were helpful. One thing I hope is that they have like a reference card or maybe something on the back of the rule book to go over like end game scoring, just like a quick reminder of things, or maybe even put it on the player board. I don't know. So that's one thing I'd like to see. I don't know. Is there anything else that I want to see in it? I would love for there to be dual layer on the boards. That would help with, you know, keeping your gear generators in track. Um, which may be an option in the Kickstarter. Other than that, I don't really have any qualms. It just has a lot of cool pieces, a lot of cool variety. I like that all the trains are unique. Where you get the old school looking locomotor, all the way up to like I don't know the names for everything. It's like bullet train or subway. But yeah, so all these pieces are just so fun and inviting. I like it. It's good. It's great for kids and families. Maybe some of the games have gone a little bit long because if you keep rolling the movement die with Rollar, you're not going to be putting these out as much. But it's super easy to customize this and be like, oh hey, you know what? We were going to play a little bit of a shorter game. Maybe you'll put, you know, less cards in it, especially for like your first game or something. Keep the game a little shorter, have less cards, go through it quicker. So if you ever feel like the game takes a long time, just take cards out, make it shorter. But yeah, so I recommend this game if you're looking for something fun for your kids to play by themselves, or if you want to play all together. Check out Super Trains on Kickstarter. I'll put the link down below, and you can follow that there and get some more information about it. Alright, I'm Allison from Better Happy Brews. Happy gaming!